Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Distractible. Now with glorious visuals. This week, Shut-In Wade has the ick again, but hosts anyway, as he loves tail. Nudist Mark endorses anal tanning and burying porn for future generations. Lazy Bob whops out wisdom on self-acceptance and a choice between being a bird or a bee. From Cat in the Hat dividum to flashing at intruders. Yes, it's time for good advice. Now sit back and prepare to be distracted and enjoy the show.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Distractible. I'm today's host, Wade, and welcome to the show where I'm joined by two co-hosts. I get to decide the topic for the day. I assign points as I see fit. Whoever gets the most points ends up winning, hosts the next episode, yada yada yada. But most importantly, my co-hosts here, Mark and Bob. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Hello. For the first time, people can see us enjoy us imbibing drinks.
Doesn't even look like I have any baby spit up on my shoulders, so doing pretty good today, you know? Pretty good.
Do I look like I have a terrible pandemic virus?
You look about the same.
Yeah, actually, you look about the same.
Thanks, guys.
Are you worse today, or?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, I'm always kind of sickly, and I always wear a robe to our recordings for such occasions. Well, it has a hood.
Yeah, well, it just looks like you're wearing a fleece hoodie, which is not that weird of a thing to wear. That's actually pretty cool.
It's got the little
Oh, that looks like a robe. Well, we
Yeah,
couldn't
okay.
see that part because you're sitting on it.
Yeah, and the people at home don't know what the norm is because there's only been like 2 other recordings that are video before this one.
One, I think.
One?
The second one?
That should be the second video one
Oh,
here.
okay. All right,
Well, they know what to expect, and they've got one video to base it on. We established in the first one. Tell me how you are, David. I'm going to call
I'm good. I'm in the throes of pre-production, but many cool things that I absolutely cannot talk about are occurring and are occupying...
Oh, wait, Mark, are you doing that? Right?
You know, I hope you weren't mouthing it because the video might, if people read your lips, I don't know what you were saying.
What I said was, are you doing that thing with the thing where you're at the thing and is that part secret?
That might be. It might all be secret. Actually, I don't even know if I should tell people I'm in. Bleep it all!
Get that out of there, Will.
Hope we're not live streaming. We're not live streaming, right? We're not.
No, we're not.
Okay,
Are we? No,
I don't know. I'm going to check.
I just showed up because you guys promised me even more pay.
we're not. Don't worry.
Who promised you?
Yeah, you guys, you're giving me your salaries for like the next month, right?
What? Why?
Hey, you know what? One extra point to each of you for your financial generosity to me during this troubling time.
Hey, those points are
Worth
worth
it.
more than gold. All right. Okay.
Yeah, worth it. Mm-mm.
All right. But other than that, you know, very busy, very, very good. Oddly enough, Wade, you getting COVID has made me paranoid about it because if I get COVID during this film production, it's kind of going to ruin everything.
Be paranoid. It's terrible.
God, when you do look up at the camera like that, it does. I feel for you, and you do start to look sickly. So I'm sorry.
This is the best
you
I've
feel
felt in like 3. Dude, I feel 100% compared to how I felt 2 days ago. There was a point I was sitting on the couch, and I just like eyeballed Molly, and she was like, "Can I get you anything?" And I was like, "Oh." And she's like, "Are you dying?" I was like, "I wish."
Man, but this is where I kind of am starting to feel like you do have a severe nutritional deficiency because I feel like your immune system seems weak.
You mean eating 1.5 pounds of wings a day for sustenance isn't a balanced diet?
Yeah, I guess I can't talk about that. I'm still kind of doing that myself.
Protein is good for you when you have this. I looked it up.
Mm-hmm. So sunlight.
Yeah, but that's outside.
Wait. The 8 important what?
Important what?
They
What important things are
daily
there?
nutritionals, you know, like vitamin D, protein, vitamin
Guys, I'm really
other.
monitoring my nutritionals closely. Before I started this, I was only getting 2 of 8. That's 1/4.
There was only one section in nutritionals where I was like, none of that looks edible, so screw that. But the other ones I cared a lot.
What are you talking about?
Hang
You
on.
mean like food groups or something? Like, what are you talking about exactly? You know, beans,
I don't know. I looked it up
greens,
when I was dying the other day, man.
stuff that grows underground.
Green beans, which is different.
It was like important things to make sure your body gets when you're battling COVID. And it was like,
What did you get? A pamphlet when you got it? What are you talking about?
I Googled, man. I used my phone. I looked it up.
You Googled what? COVID nutritionals? What is nutritionals?
Well, it's a word I made up because I don't remember what I looked up. You want to go through my search history right now? I don't even want people to look it up when I'm dead.
I don't think you remember what you looked up. I don't think you remember what you typed. I don't think you remember what the stuff
Nutritionals
was.
at Walmart is the autocomplete I get when I Google that.
You know what? That point you both got, I'm taking it away.
Apparently, there's a Walmart brand called Best Nutritionals LLC. So it's not a made-up word, Wade, because there's a company of it.
In fact, I'm winning right now with 1 point for my nutritional research.
Great, man. That's
Well,
good.
It's good to know you're doing so well, buddy. That's all I'll say about that.
Always been better.
But keep up with that eight vitamin multivitamin. Only 8 basic groups.
Shut up. I have a minor fever right now. It's low. It was up to like 103, 104. It's like 99 or something right now. It's not bad. And this is definitely like bad cold right now. But I will say at its worst, this is top 3 worst things I've dealt with. Even being like vaxxed and boosted and everything. I can't imagine how bad it would be if I wasn't.
Your nut pain when we were on tour? That seemed like it was pretty rough for you.
The uvula was awful because it was like 16 straight hours of misery.
I still don't understand what that was.
It actually swelled up again slightly for this. Whenever I was at the urgent care and I got diagnosed with COVID, the doctor, she's like, yeah, your uvula looks slightly swollen. I was like, please prescribe me steroids. And she did. I looked at her like dead serious. I was like, I can't go through it again.
Quite a bold proclamation.
At least 2 of your worst health incidents in your life have been in the last month.
Dude, I know.
Or 2 months, however long that was.
Both times, both events occurred within like 3 days of my scheduled shoulder surgery that I still haven't gotten to have. I feel like this is divine intervention to stop me from getting this surgery.
Or it's a combination of the same root cause. Well, not that COVID is, but maybe nutritionals are at play.
Traveling, leaving my house. Both times I've left my house, bad things have happened to me. I need to stay home.
I started getting just making sure I was getting 15 minutes of sun, which I haven't been doing since I've been over here, and that's why my sleep's getting worse. But my sleep gets better. I feel better. My mood is better. Just getting 15 minutes of sun, direct sunlight, getting out.
Fully nude direct sunlight?
Doesn't even have to be nude. I mean, I am, but you don't have to be nude.
Are you doing butthole up or?
No, butthole down. I feel like I put a reflective card underneath myself, and I get it like the reflection. I don't want direct on my butthole.
You got one of those squatty, I can't think of a rhymey word. Squatty sunnies.
Like a nutritional.
Keep going, yeah.
It's actually marketed as where it don't shine. But you squat over it and it reflects
he
the sun
landed
up
it.
So you forget a word, it's okay. I forget a word, it's a whole stampede.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not sick, so
I should get more
cooler
excuses.
than you.
One, I love pity.
I'm cool because I've got an immune system.
Okay,
cool kid must be because I get all my nutritionals.
I got tons of exercise. I was eating a variety of foods and healthy foods. And we were down in Orlando walking around like some of the different Disney parks. And that's when I got the uvula thing, was after all of that. And I got lots of steps, lots of sunlight, all of that. And then I was also getting sunlight and out and about whenever I got back and ended up with COVID. I think it's just a bad time of year to be out and about.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in a crowd of thousands of people, that'll do it. But also, I want to point out 1 or 2 days of doing such healthy things won't have a long-term effect. We need to.
How about 4?
I seen the sun once. I waved right up at him, and I was like, I'm going inside.
Do you get outside?
I have the last couple months till this week.
You drunk? What happened to you?
I'm here for you. And you, all of you. My friends.
I love you, buddy.
Whatever. It's time to get to the show. You all are here because I'm the best host. The pressure has never been higher. But even at my worst, I've come up with the best. We've got a great show in store for you all.
Like the last episode you hosted?
I don't remember it, so maybe it was good. What was it? It's
the one we almost called Wade's worst piece of shit episode ever, if you don't remember.
Nope, I'm blocking it out. Don't want to remember. We're moving on.
Well, it was great. It's perfect. You nailed it.
Everybody gets a mulligan. What the hell's a newligan?
Newligan, boys, kick it in. Newligan, boys.
Was mine. Today we're going to talk about, as we've done before when I've hosted, we got several different light-hearted discussions to be had, and I'll be assigning points based on the flip of a coin.
All right, so what holiday is coming up? Clearly there's a secret word that we need to discover and say repeatedly.
Oh no!
As aggressively as possible, Mark. Everybody loves that when we do.
Absolutely.
Well, at the end of this episode, I'm going to tell you I've actually already pre-flipped the coins for all my topics. At the end of the episode, I'm going to tell you what the coin flips were, so that way at the head of each one, you can tell people whatever, you can show them however you want to do it. Just so you guys know, a heads on the coin flip means that if you give me bad advice on these topics, you get a point. A tails means that if you give me good advice, you get a point. So I'm going to give you guys a topic.
Why wouldn't tails be bad advice?
I don't know, based on a coin flip.
Maybe bad advice is a success because it's funny.
You know the saying, heads never sheds, tails always fails. So
I feel like...
Look, heads is bad advice, tails is good advice. I'm the host. If you host, you can make it the other way.
All right, okay.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Well, I don't care. I don't feel good. I'm doing it my way, damn it.
You should get your 8 nutritionals. Is that good advice?
Yeah, how many out of 8 have you had today so far? Maybe your mood's
fuck you,
bad.
that's how many.
Well, you really got to determine, you got to take in what we say and then define it as good or bad, because it might be, I don't know, maybe it's your criteria what's good or bad advice, and then flip the coin.
On our topics, I have a feeling that they're going to go one of a couple ways. And you guys can give the same type of advice, different bad advices. You can give both good advice. You can flip-flop, whatever you want to do. I don't care. But whoever has the most points at the end wins. Our first topic. We're going to start off something relatively easy, something relatively chill, something people are curious about. How do you deal with motivation and procrastination?
Who goes first?
Yeah, how do we decide who goes first?
Coin flip?
Sure, coin flip. I'll flip a coin for this.
Okay.
Who's calling it?
Call it in the air, and we're the opposite of the thing that lands, of what we call. Okay?
All right, I don't have a coin. I'm just using Google coin flip, but here, let's go.
Learn by watching.
Tails.
It's in the air. Slow. It's tails.
So it's not tails, it's heads. Take that, Bob.
Yeah, Bob, you get to go first.
So I get to go first. Does that dictate what kind of advice I can give, or am I?
You
still
give whatever you want.
So the question posed is, how do you tackle procrastination and motivational issues?
Yep, and it's already predetermined whether you get a point for good or bad advice. So you just get to guess, and then I'll tell you both at the end who gets the point, or both of you, or none of you.
I didn't even really have to think about this one, because I already have an excellent system for dealing with this. And I have a name for my system as well. And it's called, fuck it. And the key really is you have to embrace the reality of who you are as a person. Not that funny, Wade. Calm down. Oh, he's coughing. Okay. It's too bad our fancy recording setups don't have some kind of cough mute button.
You're the host. Just fucking talk.
I couldn't tell if you were to pass out or yell at me. But anyway, the fuck it system is you have to embrace the reality and the truth of who you are. I am a lazy person. I've spent my entire life trying all the systems that everyone online and in books has to recommend to get rid of procrastination and become more organized. Writing physical lists, writing lists on walls or on the refrigerator where you can see it, scheduling things, breaking it down to the minute, scheduling every moment of every day and then trying to follow that. Every version of any productivity thing, stacks of index cards, project management systems where you have post-it notes and you're organizing them by like, gotta do now, can do some point, can do later, all of that shit. You know what the problem is? The exact same reason that I'm always doing stuff at the last possible moment, that I'm always procrastinating as long as physically possible, and that I'm always feel like I'm disorganized and behind on everything in life, is the same reason I can't follow those dumb fucking systems. I spend 2 days making a whole thing. I'm like, I'll design this template and I'll have this list. And if I don't open the list and look at it, it doesn't matter what the fuck I wrote on it, does it? So the way to live with your life, if you're a procrastinator, if you have trouble with keeping organized and staying motivated, is to embrace who you are. To embrace that you will always be that person who at the last minute is like, oh, that's due today. And then you scramble to get that shit done. You scramble to hide away your mess because you forgot you were having someone coming over today and you're a slob. You scramble last second to do the laundry that you needed because you forgot you had to wear a suit for this event you're going to, whatever. Whatever it is, embrace that. Life's going to be chaotic. Sorry, kids. Sometimes you're going to mess up. Sometimes you're going to have to wear dirty clothes. It happens. That's who you are. That's who I am. I've come to peace with it. People might judge me, but I feel pretty good about the fact that I don't put a lot of pressure on myself to change that part of me. I just embrace it and I love it. I am who I am. And that means that sometimes you have to pay late fees if you forget to pay a bill. Thank God for online auto scheduling bill payments. Jesus Christ.
I have been there.
That's my advice. You are who you is who you am. And if you're a procrastinator, that shit ain't going away. I'm sorry, friend.
This is where it's like the criteria is like, it could be good advice and bad advice. I depending on, I mean,
it really depends what outcome you want. If you want to feel better about your life, I think I gave great advice. If you want to not do that anymore, I don't think my advice is very helpful.
I think that qualifies as good advice because you're telling people, not everybody's going to get away from it. I think there's you can tell differing good advice, right? You can give people good advice that's different. Bad advice, I feel like, would be telling people the opposite of like if you're a procrastinator and it works for you, then it works for you. That's not necessarily bad advice.
Well, that's kind of the thing. It doesn't really work. Sometimes you really get fucked, but what are you going to do?
I struggle with motivation all the time. I get a lot done, but I still, like, just the same as everyone else, have ADHD. Well, not everyone is, whatever. You know what I mean.
I put my million YouTube plaque on the wall one leg at a time, like everyone else.
Me too. I do that too, just like
You'd
everybody.
hang it up better if it's got to fall down every night. Well, so I found that the one piece of the most practical change that I've done that people at home could do literally tomorrow, is I'm a big believer in the first thing you do in the morning will set the tone for the entirety of your day. If you start off your day by picking up your phone and looking at it, that will set the tone for the rest of your day. I've always noticed how when I wake up in the morning, there's this kind of clarity of mind. Even like the if you close your eyes and like the colors of your neurons firing, washing over your eyes, it's different. Like the patterns are different. So by setting your tone with intention, like I talked about in my perfect day, that went slightly poopy and slightly awry.
That was a perfect day.
I feel like I had a great plan for the perfect day, and we got all sidetracked by the boats. But
right.
The boats made I'm the host, and I say the dates made the boats, and the boats made the dates.
But either way, like starting off and actually this is not for everybody because it's like whatever if you want to do it. But I do find that if not meditation, sitting and thinking about the intention that you want to do, you don't have to do it. But thinking about it is important in terms of putting yourself in the perspective of, okay, I want to do this thing. And your brain will naturally like puzzle solve and be like, how do I do this thing? And you'll go, oh yeah, I remember I did think through this. Because a lot of the motivational struggles is forgetting about why you wanted to do something in the first place. So I think that like avoiding the same kind of routines and loops that get you trapped. I'm not saying never look at your phone. That's unrealistic. But at least first thing in the morning, it's like trying to beat a little mini addiction. You're not pushing away forever, but you're trying to make at least like 15 minutes in the morning peaceful and sacred so that you can actually remember what you needed to do that day. And if that day's a rest day, then you just need to remind yourself of that. I find it very relaxing. I don't do it every day either because it's kind of hard to establish that pattern of things to do, but it does help a lot with motivation because it allows you time to remember why.
I actually really like that advice, and I'm already in my mind. I'm like, oh, I should try that. I'm sure it'll work, unlike every other thing I've ever tried. But I'm curious. Oh no, I have a sneeze. Oh god, I have a sneeze coming.
Maybe you should get some fucking sunlight. Try eating a vegetable, bitch.
It burns. Hey, I get sunlight because I have to walk outside to get to my office. No, what you're saying makes me wonder though, how because it seems like when you wake up, you're like, I'm awake. When I wake up in the morning, like my alarm goes off, I snooze it for like 5 times or whatever, and when I actually wake up and I'm like, okay, I have 5 minutes before I have to be at the recording with the guys. I should move. And like the first hour of my conscious like awakeness, I don't even remember. I wake up like I was in a medically induced coma, and I don't remember what happened for the last month of my life. Is that not common? Do I sleep wrong?
I don't get that. But then again, I have spent a long time setting a very specific wake up time. I wake up at like 6 a.m. no matter what time zone I'm in. It takes me a few days to adjust, obviously, if I'm traveling, but I've been doing that for almost like 7 years now. So I get up. My body is like used to that. And it took a lot of discipline to be like, no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, I'm waking up at 6. So I got used to that. But even before that, I don't think it was like that.
I mean, maybe I'm just a really unhealthy person. Sure, whatever.
I mean, I imagine the baby also, but is that even before the baby?
So the baby thing, Mandy, the way we're doing it right now, I stay up late mostly, and then Mandy sort of gets up in the middle of the night early, but really she gets up like 3 or 4. Usually we sort of swap off. So I do get to sleep into the morning. So I don't get as much sleep as I used to, but I still like wake up in the morning, not because the baby's screaming and I have to, but because it's like I just get to wake up when I still do that. This morning I had an alarm set for 10. I remember waking up at like 10:15 or 10:20, having no memory of having snoozed my alarm 2 or 3 times, waking up to my alarm, looking and being like, how is it 10:20? I set you for 10. What? And then sitting in bed, like sitting on the edge of the bed for a minute, literally just being like, it's Sunday? Is it Sunday today? Fuck. And looking at my phone and be like, what day is it? When is it? What's happening? I was barely even alive for a while this morning. I'm okay now. I've been awake for a couple hours, but like that's how it is every time I wake up almost. It feels like I don't know what's happening. I don't know what day of the week it is. I got beat up last night, and then I just passed out, and now I'm like awake, and I'm like, what the fuck's
I'm
going
sorry,
on?
Bob. If I just take more vegetables, I'm sure you'd be better. This is my fault.
I get all 8 of my nutritionals.
I know, this is my fault.
Look, I do think that like there are certain supplements that you could take that help us sleep. I found magnesium is actually an under nutritionalized.
We're not here to help with Bob's sleep. You guys get 0 points.
Well, I appreciate it.
What? But you haven't even flipped your coin.
Yeah, wait.
No, I did. I flipped it ahead of time. They're all pre-flipped.
So did we both give good advice? Is that what you're qualifying?
We both gave good advice, and it was a heads. So I wanted bad advice for that one.
Well, I don't think Bob's was good advice.
Well, it's good advice for quality of life. It's not good advice necessarily.
It was good advice to me.
Goals, but
look, I live that life. I'm a procrastinator, and I perform better as one. I've told this story, I think, before here. I've definitely told it before on stream. In high school, I remember in AP English, I put like 3 or 4 weeks of effort into like the first English paper I wrote, and I was very proud of it. I got a C- on it, and I was like, I'm an A student. If I'm going to put this much effort in and get this, ain't worth it. Fuck it. I'm going back to last minute. Whatever I get, I get. Every other paper the rest of the year, A. Doing it the day before, 0 revision, like I didn't look it over. Done, spell check, done. Turn it in, A. I work better in crunch time. I don't know. So it worked for me, and that was like the last time I ever tried doing things ahead of time. I was like, everything else, fuck it, last minute. Why? Because that one time I proved to myself I work better last minute.
I love that story so much more if you don't learn the wrong lesson by succeeding with minimal effort and maximum procrastination. I just love the idea that you worked for 3 weeks on a paper and you turn it in, and then the teacher's like C-, and you're like, I'm an A student. And then the next time you do the procrastination thing, you turn it in, the teacher's like C-, and you're like, I am an A student. Everyone else here must be a fucking genius because that was an A paper.
I just wasn't going to put that much effort into, like, to me, a C was failing. So, like, to put that much effort into get a C, it was like...
I do get what you're saying, but there are things in the human experience beyond essays and school in general.
I'm here as one of the 3 hosts of Distractible with my horrible life choices, so I think I've done okay.
But I'm just saying, for those
see
out there
this
that
robe?
like, okay, you have the problem is when you run into tasks that don't take a day to do. That's where it all breaks down.
I have a strategy for that. It's a 2-word strategy. It's called uh-oh.
See, if I show up to set and I'm going with the uh-oh method, there's going to be a lot more chaining uh-ohs down the road because no one knows what's going on.
Well, it doesn't work for literally everything, right? Like, if you're trying to memorize vocab words, you can't literally memorize like those. You have to kind of do a little bit longer over time. Thinking back to school, there were things you had to like pace out a little bit, but there were definitely things where it's like, okay, I'm going to write this paper. I'm going to get someone else to read it. I'm going to read it, go over it, see what changes, make sure I didn't screw up or say something wrong. Like, that always made my work worse whenever I went over it a second time, and I don't know why. Every paper I ever wrote, if I went over it again and I made changes, they were always worse. Thinking weighed much worse than not thinking weighed.
Your subconscious is a much superior weight than the one that we're seeing right now.
It gets all the nutritionals. None are saved for the conscious me.
All right, well, fair enough. No points. I get it.
Well, the coin decided. You both could have been rich in points, but the coin was against you.
You decided. You could have said my advice was bad because you love boats, and you're like, screw starting off the morning with all that bullshit.
Oh, don't worry. I took away points from you guys already.
Mark's advice is stupid because I would just wake up every day and be like, boats. Boats. And that would lead me down a bad path.
Dude, I want to be on a boat so bad. Anyway.
See, my advice isn't good. I see how it is.
Our next topic, I had a few here, so we're going to skip ahead a little bit, just based on time. We got time for probably like 3 more, right?
I'll keep my advice shorter from now on.
Our next advice here is going to be advice to someone asking you in general to tell them about the birds and the bees.
Birds and the bees?
Sex.
Oh.
Okay. All right. I'd say nope.
Not.
I was trying to think of bad advice, and
You can give bad advice, but don't give
I don't want
terrible advice.
Give good advice, Mark. What's your good sex advice?
Don't tell them. Don't do. No, I'll go back to what my dad's method was, which was well, actually, no. The worst way to learn about sex is to find a strange VHS in the backyard, as I've talked about on this podcast before, and then try to, through numerous methods, to
look at the tape.
To look at the tape by shining a flashlight through it. Yeah, that's probably the worst way, because then like the natural progression was I discovered porn way too early. So that's. I can't. If I'm qualifying it, then I'm not submitting it as bad advice. My advice is bury as many VHS tapes of random pornography everywhere, as far and wide as possible, so that everyone can discover it in due time when they are destined to find it.
When a young lad starts to feel the horny, he knows he needs to dig.
Give him this treasure map.
He gets the instinct. He just starts looking for X's on the ground, and he'll find it. If you leave enough tapes around, he'll find it.
You give him a condom, some lube, a pickaxe, and a treasure map, and you send him on his way to find his VHS tape. It's out there somewhere.
Does that teach you everything you need to know? You watch the tape once, and you're like, where are the women?
Yeah, because I mean, this is the equivalent, but just like, I don't know what the good advice is, because my dad actually gave me a book that was like, you know, flip open, like, what's sex about? I think I talked about this before. And like, that just had so many more questions to it than when he gave me that. I already knew what pornography was, like, for years prior to that. And I had so many questions from that. And then this book answered none of them. And so it was just like, I was just swirling with confusion, like, I don't know anything. So, yeah, those are my bad advice submissions. Or good, depending on what the coin flip is.
Oh, trying to play both sides. I'll take all your points.
Well, I'm disappointed because I thought you were gonna give good advice, and so I spent the whole time imagining up my bad advice. But maybe this is good advice.
You could give bad.
If it was just some random person, I'm working at UDF, and some random person walks in and recognizes that I am the sexual genius because I'm obviously working the counter at UDF. As you experienced, Wade, my advice would be to answer that sort of question metaphorically and or in the form of a riddle or a rhyme, because then the person can get whatever they need from it, right? If they really, first of all, if that happened to me, I would probably be like, I'm not going to engage, pass on this conversation. But if they really push the issue, I would do something, I would go into something like, all right, you want to know the truth? You want me to teach you? You have to ask yourself one question.
Okay.
Do you want to be a bird or a bee? Birds are lightweight, big wings, wide, glidey. They swoop around, they come, they go, they keep a nest. It's nice, it's warm, it's comfortable, it's inviting. Or do you want to be a bee? You fly, you dart around, back and forth, all over the place. You dance to communicate. You got a stinger down there, but you die if you use it. And you live in a hive with hundreds, thousands of other bees. You all just crawl all over each other all the time. Bees constantly going out, finding a new flower, dipping in the booty, bringing that juice home to the hive, sharing it with the other bees. Do you want to be a bird or a bee? And that's as specific as I would get. And they'd be like, what is this? Is the stinger a penis? Be like, it's a stinger. You're a bee. Answer me. And then, either you scare them away or they would find whatever truth they needed to find inside of that, and you wouldn't have to explain anything real about sex stuff to them. Because I don't want to have that conversation with basically anyone who exists, let alone a stranger, theoretically.
Yeah, it sucks.
I love when you said real right, because I imagine just like you call someone up from the back of the UDF and it's like, so you want to know about sex? Well, one of us speaks in riddles and one of us speaks in rhymes.
I knew it was coming.
Ask you your question. We'll give you our time.
Answer our riddles 3 and we will answer your question 1.
Is your penis too slight? Is it covered in blight? Did you put on a condom? Because you're going to want them. Yeah, no, that's rhymes and riddles would probably also suffice to either end the conversation quickly or completely scare the person off from ever entering that place again.
I like the idea of you're like, well, I'll answer your question, but you have to answer a riddle. And they're like, okay. And you take like a mop, and you like flip it over and like put the mop over your head to become like your hair, and you hunch over and you start like doing a little dance as you tell the riddle. And then if they still play along.
Oh, I thought the question was going to be, are you attracted to me? You put the mop over your head? You like it?
Do you want to fuck with me?
Not like that. No. No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think that's bad advice.
Wait, do you do that in the mirror at home? Do you put a mop over your hair just like, do you want to fuck me? Ooh, yes.
Yeah, I'm like Buffalo Bill, but instead of wearing people's skin, I just literally wear wigs. I'm like, I'd fuck me.
No, hop around, squat down. I'd fuck me.
I forget what the song is that plays in Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, I play that music because I hop around and they'd fuck me. Oh, so I shouldn't do that.
All right.
Well, good work, boys. You both gave shit advice, and I flipped another head, so you both get a point. Congrats.
Yes!
All right. Yes!
Now we're all 3 tied at 1. Congratulations, you made it to the big time.
All 3 of us.
What? Why do you have 1?
I gave myself a point a long time ago. I don't remember why at this point, but read the subreddit. They'll tell us. I took a point away from you all, and I gave one to me because you all said something. It's probably the nutritionals.
Well, you said nutritionals.
Yeah, it's a good word.
Yeah, that's your thing.
Yeah,
I like it. The more you know, word of the day, nutritionals. If it doesn't exist, then it does now.
Will do video effects now.
Not my problem.
Confetti, party lights, disco ball. Come on, Will.
If he feels pressure to, that's on him, because he could equally just make me look like an asshole and put nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look. It either says asshole with sparklers and fireworks going off, or nothing happened and I look like an asshole anyway. Either way, I win.
It's a win-win.
For me, it is. But can Will resist the power of editing? I'd say yes, he can. Next advice. Good or bad is up to thee. So now, to tell me, stealing candy from a baby.
How to?
Yeah, whether you
Good or
should
bad advice
or
on how to do it. Approach it however you would like to.
Babies are really susceptible to punches. I feel like their grip strength is real low. I feel like, honestly, pushing the carriage over. You see, this is good advice because this all works. You can't say it's bad.
Very effective. It would be very effective.
It's very effective. There's numerous strategies. You could trick it like Indiana Jones style. You could replace it with something and it would never know. Why does that baby have candy anyway? Shouldn't give sugar that early or that quantity. A baby shouldn't have candy. You're doing the right thing by taking it away. This is now still good advice. Diseases.
I'm sorry, what?
Diseases?
You're going to give the baby diseases?
I never said that. I just said the word.
Okay.
What's the implication?
There is no implication. Maybe.
Well, you heard it here first.
We're going to have to check with legal on this one before we publish this episode, I think. Do we need to disclaim that no, you should not give babies diseases?
Should I never said that. I never said.
I'm not saying that you said that. I'm just saying, as a general statement, Distractible, the podcast, and also us people, do not condone or encourage giving diseases to children under the age of 5.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that a sickly child is easier to take candy from. So pick on the weak ones, like you get.
So go to the hospital, and there's lots of candy.
Yes,
really
yeah.
Right. Oh, I see.
The premature babies that have candy, you could take it right from them.
Or right outside like the doctor's office or dentist office. Like when they go in, they're good, and they come out and they get like their little candy on the way out. They've already been through a lot that day, so yeah, they're probably easier to take right from the source.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Plus, they're so upset they start screaming, crying right away. Parents completely distracted.
Exactly. Yeah. Easy.
Bob, your advice.
Well, I would say that most people probably approach this tough problem, this tough situation, tough heist, if you will, from the wrong perspective. Defeating the baby is, not to throw a pun out there, but it's, child's play, really. Babies are defenseless. Like Mark was saying, they can't do anything. They don't know. But the real problem is they have a guardian with them. That's the issue. If you can just run right up to a baby and get right past the guardian and have access, then Mark's strategies all work pretty well, I guess. Mm-hmm. But the real thing is you need to defeat the adult who is legally responsible and in charge of the baby. Could be a parent, could be a nanny or a daycare person, whatever. I will say, if you're looking for volume heist of candy from babies, if you can find a good understaffed daycare, like 20 to 30 kids per, teacher, staff member, whatever, that's just a really ripe room. If you can impersonate staff at the building or whatever, or if you just create a situation where you distract the adult and they have to leave the room, and maybe even they look at you on the way out and they're like, just watch the kids, they're doing finger painting for a minute, I'll be right back. Like you come in and you're like, the white Hyundai Sonata in the parking lot appears to be on fire. All teachers and daycare staff members drive Hyundai Sonatas, just so you know. Easy hot tip there. They'll go running out of the room and you'll have access. If you do this during snack time, boom. Anything your heart desires. Plus you could probably get access to the bowl or whatever from which they came. It's just it's a way more easy, professional, manageable way to go about this. You don't want to be the baby candy pickpocket. You want to be the baby candy mastermind. And so it's about picking the target, and then it's about understanding how to effectively distract and or disable. I'm not condoning any violence, but you know what I'm saying. The adult human who's in charge of those babies, so that you have full access. And once the human's disabled, Narc was right. You can do whatever you want. Babies are defenseless. I have one. I know firsthand how they don't pay attention. Can't hold on to stuff. Can't hold his head up yet. She'll like, no problem. So that's the real key right there. Focus on the adult first.
Well, I was willing to give bonus points to anybody who said don't do it, because this, in case it was tails, so good advice. And the best advice would be don't take candy from a baby. However, you both have described methods to successfully take candy from a baby, so I have to give you both a point.
Theoretically, just to advocate for myself a little bit, I said that you should not take candy from a baby because that's a waste of time.
That's a technicality.
My advice was that you should take candy from as many babies at a time as possible.
You know what?
Taking candy from a baby is a complete waste and not a good way to use your resources.
That's fair, but it's out of my hands, so we'll leave it up to a coin flip, Bob.
I feel like it's exclusively in your hands.
Let's see.
How do I win? Do I call it heads?
It's tails.
I don't even believe you, but that's fine.
Which opposites were the thing earlier, so you get a point. So
Wait, no, we didn't call the opposites.
you called opposites earlier. So.
I called opsies in my head.
Oh,
I like how Bob doesn't trust me at all until it plays out in his favor, then he just goes with it.
I just don't ever trust you.
It's rigged unless I win, obviously. That's how you win stuff.
Of course, all right. Who's winning?
There's your tails.
Well,
What in the hell? Oh, you took a picture. I was like, what the hell kind of sideways website?
I took a picture. I just had to zoom in to hide my snot rags.
Look, I know we have this discussion about your technological prowess pretty frequently on the show, but you can share your screen to this. We're recording this on video now.
I appreciate your offer.
Video, it's available on Spotify, so you should check that out. But you could share your screen and literally show us when you flip a coin or whatever, what have you.
Well, hey, you know what? Maybe we'll do that moving forward.
We could think up some cool ideas with it.
But for now, we're living in my archaic ways.
All right, fair enough.
Well, it's technological enough that you don't actually have a coin to flip, but not high tech enough that you could do anything other than flip the non-existent coin and then tell us the answer. I love that. I love that for us.
All right, next topic here. We have two more. This one, I'm excited for. Good or bad advice is up to you, but the point is up to the gods. That or gravity and physics. Because of coin flip.
It's not a real coin.
No, it depends on the definition of... Listen, we're not going to get into the philosophy of real versus not real right now. I don't have the time for that.
It's not philosophical. It's not real. What do you think? Google has a warehouse somewhere with millions of quarters waiting to be
Does
flipped?
it have to be physical to be real? Look, we're not getting into this. We don't have time. Just tell me.
Even if you boil it down to its data, the electrical impulses aren't a coin either.
I'm going to boil you down to your data. Now, give me good or bad advice. Here's my sick-ass roof over here.
That's a classic Wade burn.
Your mama be all like, what happened when I'm done with you? Now, here we go. Good or bad advice on defeating the monster under your bed?
Defeating the monster under your bed.
It's there.
I went first last time.
You went first 2 times in a row. I was going to go first last time, but that's
okay.
fine. I'll go this time. I'm ready. I've got good advice for this. Well, you know what? I can say this because I am one now. You know who defeats the monster under your bed? Wait a minute. I just thought all the way through what I was about to say. I have to say it now, but it feels bad. Your dad does. When you're a young person and you think there's a monster on your bed, and then you just yell for your daddy, and dad comes and looks, and then he defeats the monster because it's not there, and he knows that because it's your dad. You guys know how that is, right?
Well, that explains why we still have one, I guess. A monster, that is, not dad.
All right, I'll give you some advice you can relate to. What you're gonna want to do is God damn it. So alternatively to that, if there's some issue with having one of those things I was talking about or whatever, you just cut the lights off your bed. And if that stupid fucker wants to spawn in under your bed, trapped. No access to the outside world. I actually had a bed like that when I was a kid. It had drawers under it. And so there was you couldn't get under it. It sat on the floor. It was like a dresser with like a mattress platform on top of it. I probably had a monster under my bed. That dumb piece of shit was trapped under there for his entire existence. Take that, loser.
God, that's not my idea, but it's just like, that just makes me think of where you set a box with a piece of candy on it and a stick and a string. You set a bed up like at an incline, dangle a fake hand over the edge. And have a stick there, so when it grabs it, pulls the stick and it goes like crushes the monster. Dead. That's my advice. Final answer. That's what I said to do. Or is that stealing your?
No, I like that. That's much more specific. You don't just have to have the bed. It's a whole thing. It's a real active. It's an active strategy.
Yeah.
You're the hunter, not just the pacifist.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay, that'll be my official one. I don't know. You decide what it is. But I will also say I've always had this thing where if I ever, because I think everyone does it. You're like, ooh, is there someone in the shadows? Is there something there? Is there a monster? I've always, every time that I've done that, and I've been like, ooh, maybe there's something there, I take my covers off and then take my pants off, and I'm naked, right? And it's like, now it's weird. Now it's weird if you're there. It makes me feel so much better. I don't even sometimes have to take my pants off because I'm just like, I got naked. It'd be weird for you.
You actually do have shadow monsters, but every time you just get naked immediately, and the thing in the shadows is like, oh fuck, oh, God, why did he just get naked? What? This is so creepy now. People are gonna think things about me that aren't true. Okay, I'm just doing my job. How am I supposed to lurk in the shadows when I saw him take his underwear off? God.
Man. I imagine you have this pre-established competition where the monster's there and it knows you're there and it's like coming for you and it's finally like winning and you drop your pants. It's like, dude, that's not cool. I was winning. Come on. I had you this time and you know it.
I think it's like an evolution of imagine everyone in their underwear. Like if you're being chased by Jason, do you think it would work? Or Freddy or something? You're just like, wait. Now it's
Jason,
weird.
maybe. Freddy, no, because he would just turn his head into your penis and come up and look at you or something, right? Because he does weird shit.
Of course, yeah. That's got it, yeah. I don't know. It's actually not a joke.
But Michael Myers, he would just do the head tilt. You drop your pants and Michael Myers wouldn't chase you anymore. He would just do the head tilt. You don't know Halloween, Michael Myers? Not like Austin Powers, Michael Myers. He might also do that.
Cat in the Hat, Michael Myers.
Got it.
Not like Austin Powers. Cat in the Hat, though.
Oh, Wayne's World.
Did you know that movie is the reason he was not in Hollywood for a while? Apparently, he was such a terror to work with on the set of Cat in the Hat that was the last feature film that he was booked for a substantial amount of time. Apparently, he's a real diva, and there were some issues or something. This is all complete gossip. So yeah, allegedly. This is from tabloid shit. But apparently, that's why Cat in the Hat was one of the last things he ever did for quite a long time. Until he was in the Queen movie as the angry Scottish man. Or was he Scottish? Irish? I don't know.
Allegedly, that's interesting.
I think it was Scottish. Allegedly, it's hilarious.
You both get a point, because I guess those are both good advices. Mark, you technically gave 2, so I guess I'll do a coin flip to see if you get a bonus one. I like the trap with the hand underneath. That made me laugh.
Okay.
So.
No, that's fantastic. Because an under the bed monster would absolutely fall for a trap like that.
Yeah. It's
the right tone.
Yeah.
It is weird that we got heads, tails, but that's how the coins flipped, so.
What does that mean? Does it mean
it's just the way the coin get flipped thus far.
No,
has no impact on the next coin flip. But now I'm going to flip to see if Mark tied it up with his 2 answers, because they were both pretty funny. Get naked, I was not expecting.
Wait, I gave 2 advices. Just because you are biased against my first advice doesn't mean it's bad advice.
I gave you a bonus point last round. I'm giving Mark a chance this round. It's fine.
I don't think the getting naked one actually is good advice. But all right, I'll take it.
You don't anyway, because the coin flipped against you. So, or wait, you have to call it, don't you? You didn't call it, did you?
Damn it, tails!
Oh, well, hey, I did get tails.
No, you have to flip it again, though.
Oh, I gotta flip it again. Okay.
Call it while it's in the air.
What?
It
wasn't
in
coin
the
is
air.
in the air.
Tails.
It's tails.
No, that's not a real coin. Real coins are 50-50. It's one than
It
the
is,
other
but
than
the
the other.
opposite gets points, so he still doesn't get a point. Remember, it's the opposite of what you call.
That's true. That's what you did for me. Fair's fair. Fair's fair, Mark.
Sorry, the coin flip. If it makes you feel any better, it was tails the first time too, so you would have lost both times.
Oh, so I didn't even screw you over. You just thought you weren't going to be screwed over.
To be fair, if we weren't doing opsies, you had it.
I get that. No, I get that. I
To
get
make
it.
it very clear,
we-
your rule has screwed you.
Can we wait? Are we still gonna go opposite seas? Because I feel like if we switch opposite seas now, it'll still go against me somehow. But I feel if we stay opposite seas, it'll still go against me.
What you're saying is it's opsies, and you want to switch, which means you want to keep it opsies.
Opsies, like nutritionals, are going throughout this episode. We can't go back now. All right, our last topic. Good or bad advice, the ball is in your courts. On how to escape from a bank you just robbed. The robbing is done. Alarms are going off. Sirens outside.
First, can I just say it seems like we did a bad job robbing this bank.
Yeah, you shouldn't rob the bank. That's probably the best advice. Don't rob a
A
bank.
good heist would have no alarms at the end.
It didn't go well.
Okay, it didn't go well.
Okay. Are the cops like outside the door right now, or is it like they're on the way?
You
We
don't
got 5
know.
minutes.
You've covered up the windows so they can't see in, but that also means you can't see out.
I would never run a heist where I had no info on the exterior of the bank.
Bad heist, man.
Is this person even worthy of our advice at this point? This is a bumbling
I
burglar.
think this is some mediocre wannabe gangster.
yeah.
Give whatever advice you want.
I think the advice is get a good lawyer because you're fucked. Like, there's no way out of that.
Spend your last few minutes in the bank just calling up like, "Hi, Fishbach, Meiskins and Barnes. Can I get a good attorney from you?" Just keep trying till you find somebody. Okay.
I think we should remove Barnes as a partner from this firm because he doesn't give any advice at all in this. So I feel like we're doing most of the work here.
That's what
I
happens when
split
you're
3
the
ways
host.
when we
Yeah.
split 2 ways.
Maybe you should try winning. Then you would know what it's like to not have to do the work.
I think the advice is to vote to remove the third and useless board member from the partnership and keep it a 50-50 split. That's my advice.
Wait, are we at the law firm now instead of the bank?
You made us at the law for us.
Are we voting right now, or
That's the best advice we could give.
We collectively.
Yes,
We're making a lot of assumptions here.
Your Honor, I'd like to approach the bench.
Your Honor? We don't know for a fact whether he's the one who speaks in riddles or speaks in rhymes. Point of information.
Your Honor, have you ever heard of the ship of Theseus? Because this law firm might have been built with the 3 of us, but we've replaced over time. Is it still the same law firm?
All right, bank robbery gone wrong. Actual advice.
Or bad, it's up to you. You don't have to give good advice.
We're bad. Blow it up. Use the extra C4. You brought way too much C4 because you planned improperly. You covered up all the windows. They'll never see you sticking C4 on every surface. And then when they're just about to go, you boom. Was that bad advice?
Probably, because you're not getting out with the money, so I'd say so.
So what do you just ride the explosion up into the air and then land on your feet?
I think
and
you
walk
die.
really casually?
Yeah. Put on your explosion-proof boots and get ready. Like, dude, like a Minecraft, put a bunch of TNT underneath you and then you go straight
and then
up.
splat into the ceiling and die anyway.
Well, dig a hole first, duh.
Through the roof.
No, you put a TNT up there first because you're a few blocks away from it, so it'll blow up first, and then you.
Of course.
You're on the phone with like the negotiators. You just die like, yeah, no, we did an airplane at the airport with parachutes inside. Just the roof blows off. The negotiator's like, what was that? Nothing. That's just how banks work.
Steve has a cold.
I could see that. I could see that working.
Okay, that's my advice.
Blow it up.
Yeah. So my advice would be, this is gonna reach back far. Okay, so this is more in the preparation stage. This is advice for next time.
Hey, reach back, reach around, do what you gotta do.
I would say when you're sitting there dreaming up the heist, what you're gonna want to do is think more carefully about your target. Banks tend to have a lot of security, a lot of, a lot of stuff. Vault, bars, guards. You know what's a much softer target and a way more profitable heist in general? Stealing all of the candy from all of the kids who are on the playground with their nannies in a rich neighborhood. Rich neighborhood is good at detail because it means they have big, they don't get fun-size bars, they get full-size candy bars, right? They get big candy, they get whatever. They get the fancy stuff. No dumb suckers over here, only real ones, only Tootsie Pops, okay? And you forego the bank completely, set up your kid candy heist. Way easier to get away with. You basically walk away from the scene scot-free because you will have so effectively distracted all of the adults that no one will even know what happened. It'll be like one of those things where they come back and they're like, where's all the candy? Must have been aliens. And that's it. Scot-free. Escape. Successful. No peril.
Okay.
No need for all the C4 explosions and all that. Much better plan in general. Kids are stupid, and you could definitely get all the candy from them so easily.
So police are about to breach the bank and arrest you, and you take someone by the shoulders and you give them this advice that's like a hostage, and then you go willingly knowing you've passed on better knowledge to the next heist?
Yeah, that one hostage who was like too attached to you, who was like willing to jump in and help. Where like, someone else is like plotting against you, is like, we're going to get out of here. And then they won't have us hostages as leverage. We're going to screw these. And the one hostage was just like, he's trying to escape. He's trying to plot an escape. This guy right here, this is the bank manager. You hadn't figured that out yet. He took his suit off so he doesn't look as official. This is the bank manager. I heard him talking. And this guy, you should make an example of him, probably. And do you guys got an extra seat in your van or whatever? I don't know how you're getting away from this, but
the over-enthusiastic hostage.
Yeah, well, there's always, there's always that.
Well, if you need to shoot somebody, I mean, my legs of work. I mean, you can shoot one of mine.
Oh, they want to join in. They're finding targets for the heisters.
Gotcha.
They're not volunteer. They're like, I'm on your side, man. Let's take it to the man.
I don't know. That advice you gave sounds like Guru Harold was in there with them. I was like, what you should have done was steal from kids, rich kids, in the neighborhood. No dum-dums. It was like,
listen, it seems like this heist is poorly planned.
Oh, you didn't do this right. Not enough TNT.
I'm actually a guru. I've got great insight for you.
I was here to deposit many checks for my advice.
For all my guruing. What it's called guruing.
Yes.
I'm sad to say for our bank robbers, I don't think any of them are getting out with your guys' advice. It was maybe good advice in pre-sight, but none of them are getting out with the money.
Pre-sight.
Pre-sight was 2020, but they didn't listen. But thankfully, the coin flipped heads, so your bad advice both work out for you.
Thank you.
Now, our score currently sits Bob with 5 points, Mark with 4 points. I still have 1 because whatever I did earlier.
Can I have your 1 point?
Can I?
No, I deserve it.
Well, perhaps we'll leave it up to the flip of a coin.
But I deserve it.
Then you get to call it, Bob. The coin is in the air.
Ted's. Did that work? It has to be one of those, so I feel like that's an automatic win. Even in Opsy's land, I pretty much covered all bases there. You guys okay? I did not.
Oh, this is really caught me off guard. No, man, I don't know why that tickled me. That was good.
I don't fucking know, man. It was tails. What does that mean?
Well, I
give him the point.
pretty much just win it, I think. I don't know.
Okay, all right. That's fair, I suppose.
Oh, Mark, you concede that Ted's means he wins.
I get it.
All right,
Gotta
Bob,
get more
you
of
get
the
the
AI
point.
in there. I just say it's Ted's.
Oh, with a much more dominating victory than it seemed like it should, then Bob wins 6-4.
That's fair.
And I lost a point at the end that I don't remember how I earned, so All is right.
The thing is, I don't even know if I would have won or lost if I called the right one or the wrong one. I'm super unclear on how that would have played out. So,
If you'd called tails and it was tails, you would have lost because we've been doing opposies.
what if I called heads and it was heads?
You would have lost because it was opposies.
If it was heads, I win. Tails, I lose.
Only if you called tails.
Yeah.
Then
No,
heads.
heads you win.
In-
Tails, I
in-
lose. That's not the joke. But it's opposite.
One of us speaks in riddles, the other.
One of us speaks in riddles. The other might have a little bit of dementia. Shit.
Can we say that?
It's not.
Jesus.
I mean, whatever. The other one might not speak so clearly. That's not funny. How
You go up to that Sphinx and you're just like, oh, sorry, which one? You'll never know.
You go up and one of them's like, you'll never know. And the other one's like, where are we?
Is that a riddle? It's a question.
Well, Bob, give us your
God.
victory speech. Congrats on winning.
Oh, I don't feel good about it suddenly. That's fine. I was pretty unclear as to how to win this on purpose, so I just did what I thought would be good advice, and it turns out that giving good advice is the best advice I could have given to myself before this episode. And I'm glad I did that. Thanks, me. You're welcome.
Mark, you've lost yet again.
Yeah,
Tell us about
I've been on a bit of a losing streak. I know I'm like, 16 wins down after that, but I'm going to climb back up after this. Weirdly enough, I think this was Wade's fairest judgment thus far, even though it's completely random and opsies. I'll get him next time. Just keep TNT in your pocket for any time you find yourself on the bad end of a bank heist. And get naked when you're afraid.
God.
I feel like that was excellent advice. When would that not work?
Y'all made me laugh
Never.
at like the most unexpected times in this one. There were times I was like, man, this is gonna be a funny one. And like you guys just moments I was like, okay, it's gonna be pretty chill. And then just move the sheets, drop my drawers. And then the Teds. It was pretty good. Well done. Well done.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you guys for listening and watching now. This is our second time with the video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Sorry I'm a bit under the weather. Hopefully next time I'm feeling better. No rhyme intended, but one of us speaks in riddles and ones and rhymes and all that. You can find us at our respective places. Mark Markiplier, Bob at Meisker. I'm Wade, Minion777 at Lord Minion777 because I'm complicated. We have merch stored at distractablepodcast.com. You can get stuff there. And I guess thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one when Bob hosts something. Until then, podcast out.